Doing a special live little bulletin here for you right now while Owen Schroyer is live doing the main broadcast. Again, I'm Alex Jones. Just chronicling what's really happening in this country and worldwide. As you know, for about a year and a half, I've talked about how the globalists are using their corporate media to try to cause a civil war in America, a culture war. And they're using Maoist tactics on the universities to ban free speech, attack people, you name it. I mean, this is like little mini Tiananmen Squares happening in America every day. And that's because the left and the media have worked in a multinational combine, along with a lot of Republicans, to sell us out to communist China, to sell us out to these big multinational corporations. And then they've used the left to divide the country and demoralize the country. Well, America was on its deathbed before Trump got elected. He's got his own issues. Nobody's perfect, but he really is a president. He is doing what he said he'd do. And they hate him for that because he is the president and he's actually making decisions. And you see the economy coming back. The Federal Reserve's been raising interest rates, trying to kill that and admitting they are. So you got a lot of elites that are criminals and are very evil, who are willing to do really bad things to maintain control. Then you've got all the useful idiots in Antifa and the general left that are being screwed over by this system, but they're so politically illiterate and so economically illiterate. I'll give an example with Bette Midler in a moment, that they don't even know who the major players are or what's going on. Now, Rob Reiner, meathead, one of the biggest Hollywood producers out there, real scumbag, scumbag among scumbags, he came out, and the video's on Infowars.com, and last night, and said that America's in a civil war, and this is the last battle right now. And basically, he's just pushing the idea, like the guy that went and shot Congressman Scalise and other, get out there and do something. I mean, CNN wouldn't even call the guy a bad guy. Wolf Blitzer had a guest on saying he was a good guy, and he just saw the evil and took action. And that video's on Infowars. So they're desperate. They've committed crimes trying to keep Trump out. They've committed crimes since he got in. They've been caught with all the illegal spying and the rest of it. They're desperate cornered rats. And they want violence in this country because it's the only thing they've got left. And a lot of them are disconnected from reality and don't know that if there is a civil war, it's not going to be like the Northern Army and the Southern Army lining up and shooting each other. It's going to be a shadow war, and it's going to be people like them whose own security details, almost to a man, hate your guts. And just, I mean, I've known a lot of people that have run security people out in Hollywood at the highest levels, and they are just like, we are babysitting pieces of filth. It runs the gamut. And these people really do hate the country. And my God, if it ever kicks off, their own security, even if they're hiding in a lot of places, and I almost don't want to say this because I don't want them to know that they're all sitting right next to their executioner. And in fact, I was just trying to scare you. Your security really likes you. Even if you run off to the Cook Islands or run off to New Zealand or run off to wherever, run off to Kauai, your security really likes you. And all the locals really like you. That's why they're running Zuckerberg out of Kauai. The natives are after his ass. So everybody knows who the scum is, who can think. You may have big throngs of meth head, people out there. I mean, it looks like a lunatic asylum. I got hit by a tornado and people escaped when you go to these leftist meetings or these parades. I see these people as victims, though. And they need to know they're being used. But Reiner also says we were on a glide path to the new America, which is no borders, globalism, hepatitis everywhere, feces all over the ground. Everybody's fleeing globalist sanctuary cities, just big, rich elites. The Democrats have 3 times the money Republicans do, living off poor renters they can exploit and squeeze. I mean, that's what this is. And he's like, we were on a glide path to overturning the country and bankrupting and deindustrializing it and killing the infrastructure. We were on a guide path, like a plane coming in for a landing, to really mount America's head on the wall, like the very same great-grandparents of these same leftists, the Trotskyites and all of them from the U.S. and England, said, oh, look, Russia's weak after World War I, after fighting on our side. This is all historical fact. Let's go over there and overthrow everything and kill millions of Christians. I mean, it's a cult of anti-Western, anti-Christians who are so out of control. Soros, the Nazi collaborator, it came out in the WikiLeaks, wants to overthrow Israel because it's seen as something Western. This is next level. This is next level. And people got so horrified when they realized we've been telling the truth all these years that now they've got at least 10 TV shows now. It was like 8 a few weeks ago, attacking me, where the host of Homeland, you name it, Law and Order, it goes on, represent us. They call the shows InfoWars, the episodes InfoWars. They say in the news that it's based on us. And then they say things we never said. And then everything they're saying we did, they're doing. So you have to ask yourselves, why are they attacking us like this? Even Rush Limbaugh came out yesterday and said, no, they have banned InfoWars and Breitbart at the White House, and this guy that just got fired was behind it. Why are they doing that to us? Because you'll have the CEO of News Corp come out and say, we want to work with Facebook and Twitter and Google to censor all the alternative media, including liberal media, so we'll make more money. And I'll point out how hypocritical and bad that is. They just don't like us. We make good points. Like these leftist professors calling for blocking any military parade, saying we're like North Korea, when they don't criticize North Korea's military parades, and that's a dictatorship. We haven't had a parade in 18 years. Trump knows how to bait the media to say, oh, we know you hate the military. Let's have a parade. You'll come out and try to attack it. Now leftists are saying they're going to block the tanks, like they're Chinese communist tanks coming in to crush a pro-free market, free speech uprising that was peaceful in the capital of China by the students. The university bordered that, their biggest university. The left are the ones coming and crushing free speech at the universities. They're the ones rolling in with the Antifa and their blue cities where they don't let conservatives have free speech. You're the ones killing free speech. You're the ones calling for violence. You're the equivalent of the communist Chinese tanks rolling in. And I went over that yesterday, and they can't stand that because they want to lay in front of the parades and go, look, we're stopping just like Tiananmen Square. We're heroes, when it's the ideologies they support of socialism, communism, collectivism that they're promoting. And it's the Democratic Party totally in league with the communist Chinese, Hollywood being bought out by the communist Chinese. And that's why they're saying it's about Russians, because the Democrats sold us out to the globalists, to the multinationals, to communist China. That's even in the Washington Post now, they're admitting that. A little bit of that's turning around now, you see, because it's true. And so that's what we're up against, a combine of Hollywood, the big banks, communist China. 6 months ago, Lloyd Blankfein said, how's your infrastructure day going, Trump? I've just got back from China. We're doing our investment there. You'll never bring America back, basically. I mean, do you understand? They sold us out. And to sell us out, you kind of want to hate who you're abusing. So you kind of demonize who you're abusing so you don't feel bad about it. And so their whole religion is demonize America, to demoralize average Americans so we won't stand up politically and economically for America and a future and a place to have free market. You want to go to Venezuela, you want to go to Cuba, you want to go to North Korea, you want to go to the few other communist and socialist states left, good luck even getting a plane in or train service or finding food. I mean, we're up against ideologies that we know are total frauds, that are failures, that are force-fed by ultra-rich globalists who are offshore and exempt. They only put the socialism and the communism in to the countries. They then sit offshore tax-exempt and extract it. It's the people worth hundreds of billions that push the socialism universally. Like Obama said 2 years ago before he left office, he was in South America, Chile, and a couple places. He gave the same speech. He said to top PhD classes, he said, now, listen, capitalism is not bad, and communism is not bad. They both work together. Like China, it's communist, then it exports and works with the West and multinational groups. He was telling them, listen, you're confused, because he was telling them the Carroll Quigley book that I guarantee Obama had to read being in the CIA at higher levels, and the State Department. That's what he was tuteled by. It was tutelage. His tutelage was through that. That they explain, we're multinationals, tax exempt. We promote socialism because it makes people be failed and controlled. We can buy them off for pennies. We can engineer their whole life, medical tyranny, forced inoculations, you name it. We'll get generations domesticated, break up the family. We'll be tax exempt offshore. We won't live our lifestyles like this as well. We'll have them as these kept peoples. And then we'll use third world countries and communist countries to totally exploit the population, slave labor to leverage out any industry or jobs and any upper class, middle class systems, so that upward system is destroyed to capitalism. We'll blow that bridge up. We'll blow those stairs up. So you want to go the welfare route. And then they'll consolidate the whole thing. And then they'll merge all the countries together and use third world populations to further accelerate the giant sucking sound downwards. And there is a major revolution going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to decide which side you're on. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a liberal. All these names mean nothing. I'm a free market, common sense guy that studied history. And What you see is the facts. They ridicule us and attack us everywhere because I'm giving you the CIA State Department briefing that only 1,000 people got in 1969, 1968. I'm giving you the briefing, but with updated information that only 1,000 CIA and State Department officials got. Do you understand? Do you understand? We sell the book at InfoWarsStore.com. I'm not trying to sell it right now. You can find excerpts online, Tragedy and Hope, written for the State Department by the head of Georgetown's political science department. That was Bill Clinton was his protege. And you can go read Tragedy and Hope, where Carol Quigley lays it out. It was to be a classified book. But then it was decided by patriots that the plates got out and it got printed. And they admit that it's a real official State Department CIA funded document. You read 1,100 pages. I've read it once almost entirely, skipped a few boring parts that were just about, current things, examples going on, and have gone back through it 4 or 5 times. I mean, just read it and then you'll go, oh my God. He explains how we control fascism, we control socialism, we control communism, full spectrum dominance. We control anything command and control to centralize, and he explains it all, how they're going to do it. And he believed the elite should actually go public with all this, that it was a better plan. It's crazy. And then you see how they're following that plan. And then when you see Obama talking to people, the next political elite in South America, he's telling them, you will manage the communism, which is slavery, but it's called good. You'll have offshore money, and you'll join us at the multinational level. You're going to be exempt from this. And you see the young people are all about to be, professors and lawyers, good-looking crowds down there of the elites of those, and they're there nodding their head. They're learning, just like Gruber would get up on TV, on C-SPAN, and go, thank God Americans are such dumb fucks. Zuckerberg said that too. He said they have no memories. They're so stupid. I was hired to double or triple the prices of healthcare and have them not even know it. And I was hired out of about 8, 9 different plans. You can pull it up. He said, I was hired to lie to people. They're sitting there going, man, yes, sir. Got the professors all around, graduate students, they're all, and he's like a god. He's like, I was hired to write the lie. And then Obama goes, I don't know him. Oh, I want to thank Gruber for writing the healthcare plan. And then the average poor person thinks they're about to get something free. They're not. Big insurance companies wrote it to screw you and to double and triple your prices. And when it all collapses, they come in with only a couple of insurance companies that are going to run it. That's been the plan from the start. Okay, I'm done with the live transmission. Right now, Dr. Jerome Corsi's on with breaking intel on QAnon, the storm, White House sources, what's coming next with Owen Schroyer, Infowars.com/show. Local affiliates out there as well. But take this, upload it to your own channel, share these links. They don't want this information out. They're scared of us because we've got their program down. They're scared of us because we are not lazy. The globalists talk about, you're dumb, you're stupid, you'll never read their white papers. We did. And they're pissed because we've got their number. And that's why they're trying to shut us down. If they can shut us down, they can shut you down. Let me tell you, sometimes I'm exhausted. This is quite a fight. If other people are out there kicking ass and really defeating the globalists, I would not be putting everything into this and killing myself basically politically and energy-wise to do this. I would never kill myself physically. I'm saying, just killing myself, breaking my back would be a better term. But I'm doing it because I realize how evil these people are. It gives me a lot of energy of horror, not fear, but horror of just letting them run the world and having their way with everybody when they're so sick, they're so twisted, and they're willing to do bad. So they create these sick societies of evil to artificially have their way with us, and the whole thing's coming down. I mean, Quentin Tarantino came out on Stern's show and said, there's nothing wrong with people having sex with 13-year-old kids. And that's NAMBLA. And he said, as long as it's consensual. Roman Polanski, it was consensual. No, they drugged the girl and raped her. But the point is that imagine if he's saying that out in the open, what they're really doing, and the media won't touch it. No one will pick it up because it's so real. A guy might have slapped his wife. Fire him. Okay, yeah, fire him. But raping kids is okay, and he's the best buddies with Weinstein. He flies around on pedophile airplanes with the Clintons, where they keep little kids on islands, and it comes out, and it's like, okay, one article about the secret island, little kids on it, let's move on. And it's like, then I see all these leftists who've been peer pressured by bots that aren't real to attack us when most of those are admittedly bots. Those aren't even real people, to make you feel like you're really fighting a bad guy. And the leftists online, they don't even care that they know the stuff they say about me is not true or out of context. Like, I never said there's slave colonies with Martians, kids on Mars. But they always just say, when I'm saying something like, hey, Quentin Tarantino says we can have sex with 13-year-old kids, and that the rape of children is okay. And they just go, oh yeah, how are the slave kids on Mars? And I'll tweet back, I'll go, where is that? It's like mental illness. Like, you've now signed on to that. You've now signed on to little girls getting kidnapped, drugged, and raped in the ass by a line of men. It wasn't just Polanski who came out. And it was so big, they're like, we're going to bust 4 or 5 of the top stars in Hollywood for gang raping 13-year-olds. Well, we're the elite, so we're allowed to do it. I mean, this is what you've signed on to. And you battle to keep the pedophile news coming out. You said we made that up a year and a half ago. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's all coming out. And it's all going to come out. Let me tell you, Rob Reiner says it's a civil war. Yeah, against globalists and the American people. And you're trying to have race war and all these desperate divisions because you're a tiny elite balkanizing people. It's the old British model. And you're not going to succeed. You're going to succeed with stupid people, but not with thinking people. But I just hope you know that everything you touch goes to crap. And you're awakening everybody that wasn't even politically involved. And if you actually get the violent war you want, I don't take any pleasure in knowing what's going to happen to you. I really don't. I mean, it's like, I'd rather cockroaches ran back under the floorboards and went out and ate, you're supposed to be a carrion bug. Go eat a dead mouse or something in a field, or go in a culvert and, eat some trash that rolled over the road. If you think as roaches, you're going to climb in our mouths and our eyes and our ears and politically chain us down so you guys can have your way with us, it's not going to happen. I mean, you thought we were wimps and intimidated by your propaganda. We were just decadent, lazy, and asleep. And now we woke up to a bunch of pot-bellied satanic goblins pissing all over us and having their way with our children. And we're just like, God almighty, we're trying to fix this peacefully, but you go ahead and keep killing people and shooting people and winding up your folks to go shoot congressmen and stuff. I can tell you right now, not because I would ever do anything. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I'm just telling you the way the tea leaves are, the way the wind blows. I grew up in Dallas. You see it get all green and in the middle of the day and trees going like this and big old clouds spinning around. I didn't need to hear the radio alert that there was tornadoes. And I saw 20 or 30 of them when I was a kid growing up. Saw them tear up stuff. And I'm looking at green skies, big old cyclones, and baby, those cyclones are going right for you. I know you don't know when to give up. You guys never do. I mean, after all the stuff you've gotten away with, I can see how you think you're invincible. And all you've got is kind of, that's why psychopaths always start telling the cops where they are and trying to get caught. So you guys are just trying to get caught. I mean, after all the things you've done, all the horrible things you've engaged in, just the sick culture where only the sickest can get to the top, there in Pedowood, now China Pedowood, China Wood, nice little ring to it. You think you're invincible, and you're the opposite. What you are is rotting, diseased carcasses that need to be removed from the punch bowl. Because, you're not shitting in the punch bowl. You are living, dead, diseased, little pendulous creatures that are going into the furnaces of political history. So enjoy yourselves. Infowars.com/show. You want to fight? You better believe you got one. Owen Schroyer's live right now. And then coming up in a few minutes, Rob Dew is going to be honchoing the War Room with Roger Stone. Infowars.com/show. You spread the word. You take action. We win. You roll over. Fight gets physical. It's a lot harder road. We still win. Choose your adventure.